Hey guys, Grumpy here with another episode of Rum Runners. In between episodes, Syndria actually launched an invasion fleet against Betis. This caught me by surprise because Syndria hasn't been able to launch a fleet in a long time. So this means two things. One, Syndria is um, still fully capable of launching invasion fleets even without a nanoforge. And two, um, the Perseans in the hedge probably will be able to launch invasion forces as well. Anyway, we're going to deal with this invasion really quickly, and then we're going to get on to what we're doing in this episode. Alright, let's go ahead and fight this fleet. Nothing too dangerous here. Legion and an Onslaught. I would really like to get the Legion, that'd be good. It's also a low-tech ship, so I can include it in my fleet. Um, After that, it's a decent bit of cruisers, so we do have to be careful, but then the fleet just falls apart. So I think if we just focus on the Onslaught and the Legion, clearing off the battlefield, then this fight should go really well. Uh, we do have 3 Onslaughts of our own, so this should be fairly easy. Also, someone had asked how I had 3 S mods on the Onslaught, because I don't have Best of the Best, so I can't build in 3 hull mods. This came like this. From that fight, it had heavy armor, integrated targeting unit, and ballistic rangefinder already built into it, so that's how I got that. Same thing with this Manticore that I recovered. Has ballistic rangefinder, has integrated targeting unit, flux distributor, and flux coil adjunct. It just came like that. Alright, let's go ahead and move into engage. I guess that's fine. We'll hold back one dominant. Oh, no, we can use the dominant. Oh, ugh, it's so many choices. Let's do this instead. We'll hold back one onslaught so that we can get out 2 more eradicators. Mobility is going to be really important in this fight. Also, we can get one Colossus Mark III in. So the plan for this episode is to just check in with the pirates, see how they're doing, see if they're stabilized, what we can do to help them stabilize, and just work towards wrapping up this series. It's been a lot of fun, and I definitely would recommend it to anyone who hasn't played a pirate fleet or even just a low-tech fleet. Let's put ourselves on autopilot. We're just looking for... There he is. So anyone that hasn't tried a low-tech fleet, I would definitely recommend giving it a try. There are a lot of constraints that other fleets don't really have to deal with. Like, you're mostly ballistic faced, so you do have access to high explosives and kinetics, but unlike energy weapons, you're at the mercy of how well your opponent responds to your attacks. So the AI is sometimes good at, I guess, shield weaving, where they hold their shields up for kinetic, or sorry, they hold their shields up for high explosive and like kinetic splash on them. So with energy weapons, you get 100% damage to shields, hull, and armor. So that shield weaving tactic doesn't really work against energy weapons. Um, so that's one of the few things that you have to deal with. I think this is fine. We don't really have to issue any more orders. Everyone's pretty much engaged. I'll add another engage order over there. And we'll let this command frequency close, and then we'll take control of the ship. Yeah, so you don't have to deal with those issues when you use energy weapons or when you mix energy weapons into your fleet. Me being mostly ballistic, if it weren't for my missiles, then I would have a much tougher time. Don't tell me you're gonna lose to Manticore. That's embarrassing. Alright. Let's throw this Dominator into the mix. Put ourselves on autopilot. Something I'm practicing is commanding from the tactical screen. I never really do this. I like manually flying myself. Set of eliminate order. You're a little more banged up, but you're already facing the enemy. Yeah, you're facing the enemy, so I'll give you this engage command, and then you can go ahead and assist on something. You know what? You can tag along with me. Alright, let's see how the battlefield changes now. Just another engage command. Alright, and there's the onslaught. I think I'm gonna send both my onslaughts to go kill theirs, and me and the Dominator working together will clear this out. We'll upgrade this to an eliminate order, just so they get rid of it. I'm gonna give it to you instead, and I'm gonna have you focus on. Have you focus on the eagle. The thing is, I just don't want it to be near the onslaught, and it looks like the onslaught is already either burning in or at least facing. You can tell from the red arrow here, facing my eradicators. Things you don't want on your flanks. Onslaught is pretty high on the list. So hopefully my onslaughts can get into the fight and tie their onslaught up. I'm gonna go ahead and burst down. I'm actually gonna just set you to do that. I don't need an escort. I'm just gonna burst down this Legion, light it up once the Dominator arrives, and then we'll either push through to the onslaught if it looks like we need it, or we'll just clear some of these frigates. The gremlins are really annoying, and actually we have a solution for that. We can bring in more fighters, and the Manticore. Manticore or wolf? We'll bring in a wolf. We'll bring in a Manticore. Don't be silly. All right, and these guys should be able to support. These guys should be able to support and help out. Get rid of some of these engage commands. I don't need you over there. I need you to focus on that guy. I need you to focus on that guy as well. Alright, so they should pick up the slack here. Alright, let's get into it. I'm actually gonna hand off. I'm gonna have you focus on that, and then now that the Legion is facing away from us, we're just gonna light up with the Reapers. Cost us an Eradicator, but I think it was definitely worth it. Should be all she wrote. I'm gonna let these ships deal with these guys up here, and then let's set an engage command there, and we'll turn around and start clearing out some of these ships down here. you do have to be careful with the gremlin. Um, it'll try to phase through you, and if it makes it to the other side, usually what it'll do is it'll fire its missiles at you. Yeah, looks like we lost another eradicator. No big deal. We just switch over to full assault now. I'm still working. Another question I was asked is how to build the Manticore. I'm still working on it, but this build has been alright. It is just a Mark 9 and then a bunch of harpoons, and it's pretty much long range support. It slowly builds up the opponent's shields, and then whenever you have an overloaded target like this, it'll launch those harpoons and then eliminate it for you. It's kind of like the opposite of the Enforcer in a way. Enforcer is strictly built for chasing things down, getting in its face, blowing it up. I'll set myself on autopilot, and then let's go ahead and watch this engagement. Oof. I'm really happy with this Dominator design. Just all high explosive, and then using the light machine guns to push an opponent's kinetic pressure or shield pressure up. Yeah, I really want more Dominators. Anyway, let's pursue them. Order our second in command to handle it. Let's use the Eradicators. Nice. Atlas got away. We'll probably chase him down so we get that Atlas if we don't recover one of these three. And then hopefully we get the Legion here. Or another Onslaught. But really I want to add the Legion to the fleet. No, I'm pretty sure the Eagle is a midline ship. Yeah, okay. And the Thunder is a midline ship. Alright. The Gremlin is low tech. We can add some no, I don't want a Gremlin. I was gonna say we gotta add some phasing to the fleet, but I don't think that's necessary. And the Legion doesn't even show up in difficult recovery. Alright. Let's pick through the wreckage here. Thank them for their spoils. The Phaeton, we'll definitely take that. And then we'll salvage. Ooh. There it is. Fleet size limit of 30 ships exceeded. Supply consumption will increase and brand level reduced. That's fine. It's definitely worth it. We're already home. We're gonna 100% take that Legion. Doesn't even cost us a story point. Anything else? Nope. Alright, let's head home. Alright, so the reason why I wanted Legion is because there have been videos. There have been videos of people doing silly things with Legion that I want to try out. let's go ahead and put back point of view. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and save here just because I want to experiment, and then I'll show you. Well, I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'll test it out and then we'll jump back in if I like the changes. But basically, what people have been doing, and I've seen it more so with the Legion 14, is they've been using a combination of heavy armor, shield shunt, and what is that? Armor weapon mounts, things that stack armor basically, and then using polarized armor and impact mitigation to straight up ignore damage, essentially. So I want to give that a try. I want to save first because I don't want to use all my story points swapping my skills around, but I definitely want to see how that goes. If it works out well, which I'll demonstrate in a second, then I want to go ahead and see if I want the Legion to be my new flagship. Anyway, give me a second. Alright, so we're back. I'm going to go ahead and swap all my character skills around, and we're going to do a couple of simulations. So we're going to reassign our skills. It's going to cost us a story point. We can go ahead and get rid of quite a few things. We get rid of field modulation. Let's just do it this way. Take impact mitigation. We'll take target analysis, ballistic mastery, helmsmanship, missile specialization. So that's all sorted. Then we'll get rid of salvaging. I think we're at a pretty healthy spot right now as far as resources go. We'll go ahead and pick up polarized armor. We'll make it elite. And then we'll pick up derelict operations again. And anything else? We'll add maneuverability. Might as well add top speed. That needs to be elite. And I guess we can get ballistic projectile speed. I don't know how good that is. But since we're experimenting with the build, we might as well try it. Alright. And then for the Legion itself, I'm going to try you to restore. That's quite a bit. That's fine. Let's go with heavy armor, shield shunt, and alright, weapon mounts. We'll build in heavy armor for right now. I think that's it. We can build in integrated targeting unit because we'll probably need it. Alright, let's design the Legion. As far as fighters go, ideally it would be 4 sets of daggers. I don't have any daggers though. I have 1 set, so we'll go with 1 dagger. Man, I need to go fight more Perseans. Go with broadswords. A trident. And You know what? And another set of broadswords. Why not? As far as the weapon systems go, I think we're gonna go with 2 Mjolnirs. Missiles, I think we're gonna go with just Typhoon Reaper launchers. On the front, or well, as far as ballistics go, we can go with Vulcan cannons, just for point defense. And then we can go with railguns on the front, as well as some light mortars. So our job is just basically to be tanky. It's not really to do any damage. We're gonna need expanded missile racks. But I'm just curious to see how this works out. We do need to remove compromised armor, but we'll see how that goes. Let's get up to where we would normally be, which would be 85, and then let's run a sim. Let's go with Onslaught. Keep in mind, this is with 20% less armor, so our armor is probably going to get peeled away. Let's go ahead and engage with our fighters. The interesting thing with not having shields is you don't have to worry about overloading. So your flux will max out, and all that'll happen is your weapons will just stop firing. Nah, this onslaught is like tearing us apart. Alright. I wish I had Hellbores. Oh. That was easy. So let's give this a try. Also, something that would help is if I used, what's that called? Solar shielding? The one that reduces energy damage taken by 20%. Yeah, I'm still taking a lot of damage, but that seems to be a lot better. Alright. Let's grab solar shielding. Oh. Turns out I don't have it. Okay. Turns out we do not have that. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm just missing. Um, I'm missing too many hull mods to make it work for now. But it was interesting. I would recommend giving this a try. I think I'll show off this in a ship showcase, just so you can get a better idea of what I'm trying to go for. But yeah, without soul shielding, without while the armor is compromised, I don't think it's going to work particularly well. So we're gonna go ahead and load back the previous save and just store this for now. We'll probably use the Legion at some point, but we'll use it for. We won't use it as a shield shunt. We'll just use it as a support carrier. Alright, see you in a second. Alright, so there's two things that I want to get done. They won't necessarily happen in this episode, but they'll happen in between episodes. The first thing that I want to do is just make sure that we maximize our production. So if we go ahead and look at colony info, I put an alpha core on top of fuel production just because I want to produce as much fuel as possible. The reason being is we have fuel shortages. The pirates have fuel shortages pretty much on every planet. Supplies is a similar story. But the reason for this is because of access, which we'll get to in a second. But I just want to make sure that my planets are as productive as possible. The reason being is eventually we need to turn these over to the pirates themselves. I don't know why or how I didn't notice this before, but all of these green arrows pointing down means that we're importing these goods, and the faction we're importing them from are the pirates, right? Like the only thing that's being produced by us and being traded within faction are Marines. All of this is being sent probably from Tartessus to cover our supplies, or to cover our demand. So we need to go ahead and trade, or turn in Tortuga and Nassau to the pirates. So that's the first thing that's got to happen. So we have to increase our productivity, increase our planet size, and then trade it over. And then the second thing we need to do, that I talked about earlier, is we need to get our access up. Right now it doesn't matter for us because we're technically a different faction. But once we turn over our planets, we revert back to being the pirate faction. And at that point, we'll have to improve relations with Tartakion, the Independents. The Pathers, I think, already get along with the pirates. I can check that. And then the Cabal we'll have to get friendly with as well. And then I'm hoping that those four factions, so 1, 2, 3, and 4, will be enough to trade with, which will, 1, stop raids against the pirates, but 2, be enough to shore up our shortages system-wide. At that point, then, the pirates will have max stability, they'll have max fleet size, they can harass the Hedge and the Perseans to the heart's content, and I think at that point we can call the series complete, call it mission accomplished, and start a new series. So with that in mind, I'm going to work on this in the background, just improving relations. I'm going to show off some of the missions and bounties that I do, show you how to increase your relations with a faction that hates you, and go into all that. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Other than that, Grumpy out. And now I'd like to give a very special thank you to our supporters. At the Explorer tier, Randall Porter, Philip Kallenbach, and Mark. And at the Starfarer tier, Zoni, Wet Noodle, Kriltic, and our newest supporter, Wayfarer S tier. If you would like to support the channel, then becoming a member would be the best way to do so, but it is completely optional. I'll continue to run ad-free content on this channel, but if you do choose to support, it would mean a lot to me. Thank you so much. Other than that, Grumpy out.